Hi, I'm Sean with Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and in this video I'm going to give you some ideas on how to clean, cook, and eat trout. I got all dressed up for you this time. Well, actually it's because I'm leaving to teach Sunday school soon, but I had a little extra time and I wanted to work on getting this video put together for all of you to view and hopefully enjoy. So here's the trout. Take my knife and I begin at the butt end here where the fish goes to the bathroom. I just slide the knife straight up all the way to the head. Open the fish. You can see all the innards there. I just kind of pull them out, and they come all the way down to the front. I like to take my thumb, put it at the very top of the guts, and push into the back of the head of the fish to kind of dig them out. And I'll actually sometimes get the gills out with it. Sometimes I'll miss. And then, as you can see, there's a dark line right here. You take your thumb, you push it in at the back, and you just run your thumb up to the front of the fish and clean that out with your thumb. Now the head, some people leave the head on. I personally cut the head off. So I have a board here, and I just cut it off at the head. And I also, these front fins here, I come in right at the back behind them and I cut those off because there's bones in there. And I just remove that on both sides. Get right like that. So I'll do another one here just so you can see that again. That was a brook trout, this one's a brown trout. So come in from the back, come straight up, all the way up to the head. Like that. Open it up. And I usually just start at the back and run my thumb up in there. I'm actually putting my thumb and my finger in the gills right here, and I kind of take the gills out a little bit with the guts and then put those in a trash bag. As I said before, I'll put my thumb in and run it up along the back, inside of the back there, to push out all that. And then I'll get my knife, much better. Then I take my knife, come in right behind the head, chop the head off, throw that out. So now I'm just cleaning the fish with the hose, and then I'm going to take them inside, rinse them in the sink, and then prepare them to cook. Now I got a lot of Italian in me, and I really enjoy garlic, so I'm one of those people you can't have too much garlic. And I don't really like to use a garlic press because I think you lose some of it, so I usually just cut garlic up into little pieces when I'm cooking. And in this case, I'm going to put the garlic in the fish when I cook it. I also have some limes here. Normally I would use lemon, but we didn't have any, and we had a lime or two sitting around, so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to take 2 slices of the lime and peel the skin off, or just cut the skin off, and I'm going to be putting these inside the fish for when it cooks. If I have fresh basil and things like that, I'll put some of that in there too, but in this scenario I didn't have any of that. So I'm just going to use the garlic and the lime pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic and the lime in the fish. And then I'm going to take this a little bit of butter, and I'm going to put that in the fish as well. Since I have the 2 extra lime pieces on the side here, I'm going to squeeze the lime juice onto the fish, and I'm also going to leave the skin with the other bit of lime in the tin foil with the fish because that's just going to help in the cooking process. In this situation, since I also have a little bit of lime juice, I'm going to squirt that on the fish as well and a little bit inside, just to give it some extra moisture and flavoring for the cooking process. Now I'm going to roll up my tin foil and cinch the ends. And I'm actually going to cook this in a little toaster oven. I already have it preheated to 425 degrees on the bake setting, and I'm going to let it cook for 30 minutes. After my 30 minutes is over, I take my trout out. Now this happened to be a stocked trout, so the meat is going to look fairly white once it's cooked. If it's a native trout, it might have more of a pinkish look to it after it's been cooked. I removed the tail when I was transferring it onto the plate. And the first thing I do when I'm ready to eat it is I peel the skin off with the fork. I also remove the 2 small fins on the bottom of the fish, on the belly of the fish, because there's bones in those. So just one little swipe of the fork and they're off. Now I flip my fork over, and right in the seam between the 2 sections of meat, I put my fork and gently pull down, and that pulls the meat off of the rib bones. As you can see right in that angle right there, you can see the bones are still on the skeleton of the fish and the meat has come off. And that meat is ready to be eaten, bone free. And once you get to this portion of the fish, you don't have those rib bones to deal with anymore. This is actually the easiest part of the fish to get the meat off and eat. So you just pull it down just off of that tail region there, and you go ahead and eat it. Now I'm going to start working on the upper section of meat. This section of meat has small bones that stick straight up through the middle of it off of the spine. So you have to be very gentle and lift pretty much straight up, as if you're lifting the meat straight away up into the air. Now I have eaten, a number of these little bones. They're not too bad, but sometimes they kind of jab you in the throat, which is uncomfortable. So I try really hard to just gently pull the meat off and not get any of those bones. Once you get to this section of the fish, once again, you don't have those little bones to worry about, and the meat just comes right off of that section of the skeleton very easily, and you get to eat it bone free. Now I flip the fish over and prepare to do the same exact thing on the other side. I have a little bit of the skin from the fish still on there, so I just have to scrape that off. And then I can go ahead and begin to remove that bottom section. I usually like to start on the bottom side and just use my fork to gently pull down to pull that meat off of the bone. I'll also say that if you undercook the fish, the meat will not come off of the bone as easily. And obviously if you grossly overcook it, it'll dry it out real bad. Once again, this tail section comes off very easily with no bones. And I'll just go and do the upper side real quick since I'm there. And then coming back up to the front, I have to be gentle and delicately pull that meat up so that the bones stay on the skeleton and not in the meat. I'll try to show you these little bones here. Didn't come out too good on the video, but right in here is where those little tiny bones are sticking straight out. And there you have it. You can go ahead and eat that part of the fish, and it's delicious. At least to me it is. Well, there you have it. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it at least somewhat helpful. And I really ask for your support. And you can do that by, you can say a prayer for me. You could also like, subscribe, and share my videos with as many people as possible. I really want to grow my subscriber base, and you can help me do that by sharing my videos and asking your friends to subscribe. Until next time, take care and God bless.